the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
After the big news today of Ryan Poles' extension as the Bears GM, I personally feel that the Chicago Bears should now be all in on this all-pro player. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. First and foremost, to all the Bears fans out there, happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope you guys are gonna have some fun this weekend as well. As you guys can tell, Keek on the Mic is very energized because of the good news today in regard to the Ryan Poles extension. The Bears obviously were making that a priority all offseason long. They wanted to make sure that they had alignment with Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles. I do want to let people know that in total, he now has 5 years on his contract. They just added a 3-year extension. He had 2 years left on his original old deal, gave him a 3-year extension. Now him and Ben Johnson are locked in side by side for the foreseeable future. I know there's a lot of people, including Bears fans out there, that are very upset about this move. They keep looking at the 15-36 record. While most Bears fans are looking at the 15-36 record, I am looking at the fact that Ryan Poles came into a very tough situation, and we have to understand that rebuilds take time, and he made it very clear that this rebuild would take 3+ years. So the first couple of years, he had to, get rid of some aging contracts that were massive contracts for an organization. Obviously, he was able to flip that number 1 overall pick for a massive haul of DJ Moore, Tyreek Stevenson, Darnell Wright, and Caleb Williams. He obviously was able to land Ben Johnson as well. And once again, Ryan Poles has also had his fair share of mistakes as well. But overall, I do feel that Ryan Poles has put the Chicago Bears in a situation for long-term success as well. But like I said, the first couple years were rebuilding years. Now the clock is ticking. Now that Ryan Poles on paper has built this team the right way, he feels like he has his quarterback in Caleb Williams. He feels like he has the right head coach in Ben Johnson. Now the expectation is for this team to start winning football games on Sundays. Everything is in place, but now the clock is officially ticking. But overall, definitely not mad at the extension of Ryan Poles being continuing to be the Chicago Bears general manager. Go ahead and comment down below in the comment section how you are feeling about this move in regard to Ryan Poles' contract extension. So, Bears fans, I have to get something off my chest, and it's something that we have been talking time and time again right here on Keek on the Mic. You've heard this many times on different other Chicago Bears radio podcasts, news outlets as well, and it's in regard to the Chicago Bears being aggressive on this certain player. And here's where I'm coming from, and before I mention this player once again. The Chicago Bears seem like they are all in. They're all in on Caleb Williams being the franchise quarterback, and they're expecting a big year 2 leap. That's why they brought in Ben Johnson. That's why they overhauled the offensive line with Drew Dahlman, Joe Tooney, and Jonah Jackson, right? That's why they brought in the pieces on the defense side of the ball, which includes Dennis Allen being the defensive coordinator, which includes Dayo Odengbo, which includes, getting Grady Jarrett and moving Javon Dexter around, right? They are all in on Ryan Poles. That's why they extended him, aligned with Ben Johnson. They're all in on this football team. And here's the thing. Now we are on a 3-year window for Caleb Williams' rookie contract. So I believe after the recent news of the Ryan Poles extension, the Chicago Bears need to call the Cincinnati Bengals and get this deal done with Trey Hendrickson. He is just out there right now, Bears fans, just sitting there waiting to get back into football. Obviously he's eager to play, but it seems that situation with the Cincinnati Bengals, it seems to me that it's not getting any better. It seems that the Bengals want him back, but they're not offering what he actually wants. And I understand we talked about the money and the draft picks, but this is how I feel about it, Bears fans. The longer the situation goes on, I feel that the lower amount of compensation that we'll actually have to give up for a guy like Trey Hendrickson. At the beginning, when these rumors were hot and he first requested a trade, the Bengals were probably hoping they were going to get a first-round pick or a second-round pick. But now, the closer you get to the NFL season, when you get into the training camp, now the price is going to go down. I realistically think that Ryan Poles can call the Cincinnati Bengals and probably give up two or a couple of day 3 draft picks, maybe 1 third-round pick, maybe a third and a 6th-round pick. But I don't think at this moment in time that it will cost the Bears a 1st or 2nd-round pick to get Trey Hendrickson. And we all know about Hendrickson, right? Back-to-back 17.5 sack seasons. He is going to turn 31 in December. I still think he has a couple of years of football left in him. But to me, after the recent news, the Chicago Bears need to be all in. I actually did some more digging on Trey Hendrickson. I looked up the PFF stats, and I'm going to put them on the screen as well on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. As you guys can see, 6'4", 270 pounds, is currently 30 years old, but will turn 31 in December. He had an overall grade of 88.1 as well. But there's one thing that I want to point out. Besides the 17.5 sacks, I want to point out the total amount of pressures that this guy had in 2024. 83 total pressures, which was first among edge rushers. That is absolutely ridiculous. And what makes that even more impressive on the Trey Hendrickson front is that he did that in a hot-ass defense that we call the Cincinnati Bengals. Do you know how many points the Cincinnati Bengals defense was giving up time and time again last season? So he was the lone bright spot, basically doing it all by himself in Cincinnati. And he had 83 total pressures and 17.5 sacks. Bears fans, I am sold on Trey Hendrickson. I am sold on the idea of giving up a couple of day 3 picks, a 3rd and a 5th-round pick to land Trey Hendrickson, signing him to a 3-year, maybe $100 million contract with $80 million guaranteed. And I know a lot of Bears fans will say, well, Keek, I don't want to give up draft capital. I don't want to, have to pay him. I do not care. The Chicago Bears are on a 3-year window. The rookie window of Caleb Williams, and all teams with good young quarterbacks that believe in their quarterbacks, like the Denver Broncos with Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders, the Drake May and the New England Patriots. They are all thinking the same thing. They are all trying to win the big game, meaning the Super Bowl, while they have their quarterbacks on their rookie window. That's everyone's mindset when they draft a quarterback that they believe that can be their franchise quarterback. So the Chicago Bears, Ryan Poles, needs to have that same thinking. And if the money is an issue, you need to convert some money, restructure some contracts to make this happen. This guy would be an absolute game changer. This could put us in a playoff window, a Super Bowl window, by just adding one player on the defensive side of the football. This would give Montez Sweat a true running mate on the defensive line. And you have to remember, we already added Dayo Dengwa. We have Grady Jarrett. We have Austin Booker. We have Javon Dexter. This would make our defensive line just absolutely ridiculous. And what makes this even sweeter is the Chicago Bears couldn't even wait even longer into training camp to maybe get the deal down even more. Maybe just saying a 3rd-round pick alone, just for the simple fact that Trey Hendrickson will be a plug-and-play player just due to his experience with Dennis Allen, right? So to me, this makes all the sense in the world. If Ryan Poles and the Bears truly feel that Caleb Williams is the quarterback that can win them a Super Bowl, and they feel like they can win it in these next 3+ years, 3 to 4 years, then this is a move that the Chicago Bears should realistically think about making. Once again, send over a 3rd-round pick. If it takes an extra day 3 pick, then send an extra 5th-round pick. Bring him over, sign him to a 3-year, $100 million contract with $80 million guaranteed. If money is an issue, once again, restructure some contracts, convert some money. But this is a move to me that after the recent news of Ryan Poles, the Chicago Bears are all in on winning, right? It's time. The clock is ticking. Ryan Poles' clock is ticking. Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson in the fold. This is a move that the Chicago Bears, they truly want to take the next step of not only competing within the NFC North, but competing with the NFC Conference and actually making a real change of trying to win football games. Trey Hendrickson is the move prior to the start of the season, week 1, when the Chicago Bears take on the Minnesota Vikings on Monday Night Football. So Bears fans, once again, engage with me down below in the comment section. Let me know if you agree with me. If you guys truly feel that the Chicago Bears need nothing else prior to week one, so be it. But I truly feel that Trey Hendrickson needs to be the all-in move for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears prior to week one of the NFL season. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Kick on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. The other than that, be back for all new Bears podcast right here on Kick on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.